The crazy two-faced prince doesn't care about the throne. A month before his brother's wedding, he staged an accident. The crown prince fell off a cliff and vanished. Successfully took the amnesia crown prince away. Xi Chaoyuan is the emperor's adopted son. In line, he was made Prince K. With sinister motives, he for this trap. He brought Xi Chaoling and 2 courtesans into his manor. But even with amnesia, the crown prince's pride remained intact. He refused to believe he was a courtesan. Xi Chaoyuan gazed at him with deep affection. After dismissing the servant, he pulled Xi Chaoling close. He dropped the disguised mask on his face. His stunning, radiant features were revealed. Xi Chaoyuan, I am His Majesty's 6th son, Prince K. Shi. Your identity doesn't matter. From now on, you belong to me. I'll give you a new name. From now on, you'll be called Linlan. How's that? Xi Chaoling's head felt painful. On his way back to his room, he encountered a black cupboard with a white cloth. A servant explained the person drank too much and drowned. He had no idea this was the only person who recognized her. Sadly, he was killed on his way to report the truth. Xi Chaoling still had his old habits. He had to be completely clean before bed. Just as he prepared to undress, someone embraced him from behind. Who else could it be but Xi Chaoling? Though his gaze seemed tender as water, Xi Chaoling's instincts as crown prince remained sharp. This man's eyes were sharp, clearly someone with an intense need. He asked again about his true identity, but the answer he got was still vague. Xi Chaoling decided not to press further. He began undressing for his bath. Xi Chaoyuan watched with interest, showing no intention of leaving. The crown prince is clearly used to being served, already accustomed to undressing in front of others. Not afraid I might force myself on you. Like some warlord from the old days, had no idea what the man outside was thinking. He thought for a long time but couldn't figure anything out. When Xi Chaoling emerged from the bath, Xi Chaoyuan was still waiting at the door. He immediately pulled his beloved into his arms. Xi Chaoling asked in confusion if he'd be locked up here forever. Xi Chaoyuan gave him a meaningful look. Of course not. Next month I'll take you back to Prince K's manor. Then you can go anywhere you want. But he was thinking, as long as you don't get married next month, you'll be mine forever. How possessive is this crazy prince? He cruelly arranged for his brother to fall off a cliff. Then he found his amnesiac brother and kept him captive in his manor. Right now Xi Chaoling only thinks about the crown. He just wants to kiss and hold the crown prince close. Xi Chaoling asked him, aren't you afraid I'll secretly run away? Why? Chaoyuan smiled wickedly. I'll break your legs. Xi Chaoling was puzzled. There are countless beauties in the manor. Why choose me? But that threat about breaking his legs seemed real. With nowhere else to go, he had to settle in for now. After spending days together, Xi Chaoyuan confirmed his suspicions. His brother's preference for plain food was fake. His leg of dragon-scented incense was also fake. It was all just to match His Majesty's taste. This little thing is quite calculated. He reached out to wipe a grain of rice from the crown prince's face. Xi Chaoling blushed. Prince K is way too forward. After the meal, Xi Chaoling picked up a book and read with interest. Xi Chaoling watched the crown prince with even more interest. The dignified, proper crown prince would never have read something like this. Aren't you afraid of me? The sudden question interrupted Xi Chaoling. Why would I be afraid of you? But Xi Chaoling was thinking, he definitely knows who I am. One day I'll get the truth out of him. But the only concern is, this guy may be young, but he's extremely aggressive. Who knows when he'll take things all the way? The intimate atmosphere grew strong. Xi Chaoling quickly changed the subject and asked his age. Chaoyuan answered proudly that he was 16. Seems he's a bit younger than me. Definitely an immature little wolf cub. Chaoyuan leaned close to his ear. Age doesn't matter. From now on, you're my Linline and mine alone. Chaoling chose to ignore his forwardness. He sat there awkwardly immersed in his book, while Xi Chaoyuan was visiting the Empress Dowager. Xi Chaoling had servants bring him a ladder. Being cooped up in the manor every day, he wanted to see the outside world. But when he saw the vast imperial city, he suddenly felt like he knew that place. Just as he was deep in thought, he suddenly heard a sharp voice. What are you doing? He instinctively turned around to meet Xi Chaoyuan's icy stare. The man firmly told him to get down, while opening his arms to catch him. Xiaoling was speechless. It was like coaxing a child. But when you're under someone's roof, you have to play along. So he obediently jumped down. Though this wolf cub is young, he's pretty solid. But the one thing he can't, how this guy's mouth at 98.6 degrees can say such cold things. Didn't I tell you? If you dare run, I'll break your legs. Of the emperor's 7 sons, 5 are abnormal, each doing their own thing, never interfering. The 4th prince likes sneaking off to the grove with his personal guard, causing gossip throughout the city. The 6th prince covets the crown prince's beauty. He schemed to imprison him and his man. At this moment, the crown prince was playing chess with Xi Chi, asking if he could visit the front courtyard if he won. Xi Chaiwan knew he was no match for the crown prince, but still looked at him indulgently. If you win, I'll let you go. This time the little rabbit ate the big bat. But before Xi Chaoling could celebrate, Xi Chaiwan smiled wickedly. When have I ever kept my word? Xi Chaoling was completely speechless. Just then, a guard came to her. That the crown prince had been found. He was still unconscious and hadn't woken up yet. Chaoling, who was playing with the bird, heard the gist of it. He began his analysis. This is probably fake, but if he's back, he's back. As long as the heir is there, no one else has a reason to fight for it. His Majesty made a rule. Hearing the crown prince analyze everything so thoroughly, Xi Chaoyuan found it amusing and patted his thigh. Xi Chaoling naturally knew what this guy wanted. Though exasperated, he could only obediently sit on. Xi Chaiwan stared at him indulgently. Didn't you want to go out? I'll take you out. But it depends on your sincerity. Xi Chaoling naturally knew what this guy wanted, so he gave him a quick kiss. After all, finding out his identity was the priority. Xi Chaoling wondered why he had to wear a veil. Xi Chaoling explained he didn't want others to see his beauty. If any fool dares to peep, I'll gouge out his eyes myself. Chaoling was speechless. If your highness becomes emperor, you'll definitely be a total tyrant. Not only was Xi Chaoyuan he actually linked him close, then will Lin Lan be a wise consort and keep me in check? Chaoling awkwardly turned his head away. We're not on the same wavelength. I can't even be bothered with you. Morning light hit the glazed tiles, casting a golden glow, giving Xi Chaoling a feeling he'd been here before. Just as he was lost in thought, Shaowen suddenly embraced him from behind, asking if he liked this place. What does it matter if I like it? Your highness won't let me go there anyway. But that angered Xi Chaoyuan. He bit his neck. Isn't staying by my side good enough? Xi Chaoyuan's nickname as a wolf cub is well deserved. He not only bites the crown prince, but also his sensitive neck. Xi Chaoling was genuinely scared. You already said you'd break my legs. How would I dare wrong? Hearing this, Xi Chaoyuan cupped his face. Be good, I can't live without you. Soon it was time to return to the carriage. Chaowen gently lifted his brother into his arms and hit him in his carriage. The 2nd prince noticed something suspicious and asked if he had some secret. Colby responded, explaining that a beauty in his manner was frail and couldn't handle the cold. Then he made an excuse and left. The 2nd prince was indignant. These younger brothers had no respect for him as their elder. While reading, Xi Chaoling was interrupted by Xi Chaoyuan, who snatched his book and tossed it. Xi Chaoling got so annoyed he just lay down and refused to talk. Xi Chaoyuan placed him on his lap, saying it would be more comfortable this way. Xi Chaoling didn't refuse. The carriage was too bunk. This actually suited him fine. Xi Chaoyuan affectionately brushed the hair from the crown prince's face. Even with his legs going numb, he couldn't bear to wake him. Only when the crown prince was sound asleep did he gently lay him down and get off the carriage to have guards prepared for. Meanwhile, Shikaki felt his world had collapsed. His Jiangxi had died. All he could do was bury him. She took the fall to protect, accepting a false accusation. He vowed to get revenge. He would make Xi Chaoyuan, who framed him, pay in blood. Xi Chaoling slowly woke up to find the carriage door wouldn't open. He could faintly hear Xi Chaoyuan talking to someone. He peeked out and saw the person seemed strangely familiar. He had no idea it was his Machal's and childhood study companion, his most loyal supporter Li Hen. At that moment, Xi Chaoyuan was staring calmly at Li Hen. He drew his sword and held it to his throat. Xi Chaoyuan showed no kindness toward Li Hen. As a child, he wanted to give the crown prince a fine fox pelt he hunted. This guy blocked him and accused him of wanting to harm the crown prince. During the struggle, he even tore the fox pelt. In anger, Xi Chaoyuan beat him up. What was even worse was the crown prince solid hat. It left a bad impression of him being violent. From then on, Xi Chaoyuan became the most unwelcome guest at the Eastern Palace. Li Hen was also startled by the sudden hostility. He could sense Xi Chaoyuan truly wanted to kill him. The prince keeps the amnesia crown prince captive and arranged separate quarters for him. Xi Chaoling turned. If I'm your princess consort, would you dare report it to the court and marry me official? Then he shook his head in disappointment.